Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Max and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Max's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The correction, a little correction, and lots of motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we give here at school is a gentle tug and let go on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Rich will bring home several different training collars for you to choose from. And you're going to choose the one that's most comfortable and is the most effective for you at home. Now Max is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Max heel. Now, a lot of times you can't hear Fred talking to the dog, but he is talking to him while they're walking. And each time you notice that Fred stops his feet, Max has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you're walking and you stop to cross traffic or stop to talk to a neighbor, Max is sitting nicely at your left and waiting for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command to stay. The long sit stay, when you're practicing at home, practice indoors as well as outdoors. Start out at about 30 seconds and work slowly up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to him, he walks counterclockwise all the way around Max, back to his shoulders, and he stops at his shoulders. And then he gives him another command to heel. And Max gets up and starts walking with Fred. So this makes walking your dog a pleasure. You're not getting dragged down the street. He's not barking at other animals or people. He's focused on you. You see him looking up at Fred and paying attention. And that's what we're going to be aiming for when he goes home for you. Fred leaves him in another sit stay, walks out to the end of his leash and turns to face him. He lets Max hold that sit stay. And when you're practicing indoors, you don't have to worry about the weather. You can practice anywhere that you are. This time, instead of returning back to him, Fred is going to call him. This is the come on command. And he comes right in and he sits right in front of Fred facing his knees, and then they go back to the heel. So remember, you have to get your commands out. You have to let him know what you want him to do, what's expected. You praise him when he does a good job. He's a smart little guy and he's a nice little dog. Fred leaves him in another sit stay, walks out to the end of his training leash and turns to face him. When he calls him, he uses his name, lightens his tone of voice, and he should come right in and sit. Good job, buddy. And everything starts and stops at that heel position. So you're going to practice indoors, you're going to practice outdoors when you're on walks. Everything is about Max knowing that you're in charge. Now the next series of commands that we're going to demonstrate for you are your down commands. The first one is a down from a heel position. So always have your dog seated first. You're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now your long down stay, you can practice right in your living room, and you're going to start out at about 1 minute and you're going to work slowly up to 5 minutes. This is a self-control exercise for him, and it's very important that you practice your exercises. When Fred returns back to him, he'll walk all the way around him just as he did on the sit stay. If he gets up, Fred said no, and he went right back down. He returns all the way back to heel position, gives them a little pat for praise. They heel out of that exercise, and they will demonstrate that again for you. Nice automatic sits. And remember, always have him seated first before you attempt to put him into a down. Left open palm, straight down toward the ground, down and stay. Fred turns to face him. He lets him hold that down, stay. This time he's going to call him out of that. A little happy tail. And the very last exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder exercise because you're not right next to the dog. So you're going to leave him in a sit stay. You're going to turn to face him. You don't have to go that far away when you start off because you want him to do it correctly. You're going to use your right hand to give the command, and you're going to give him the down from a distance, and that was beautifully done. Now we have demonstrated for you all of your formal on-leash obedience commands. Max has done a great job. He's a smart dog. He needs this obedience training as extra mental stimulation for him. And Richard's going to be there tomorrow to answer any questions that you may have regarding his training. We've had lots of fun with him, and I think he's had a good time here at school. We want to wish you a happy holidays, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.